It's been a while, but this time, I'll do it all, and I will leave no stone unturned. So yeah, we are going back for more in Stars and Time, because I absolutely love this game. I've never actually 100%ed a game before, so this is a first for me. I'm just far too obsessed with everything about this to leave it alone. I need to find more. I of course got quite a few achievements in my first playthrough, with this being a game about trying a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of them are sort of mandatory, but I also missed out on some really easy ones, like looping 100 times, since I was somehow very efficient at beating the game. But also, I got one that is missed a lot, being Bad Touch. That one, I still feel bad about, but it was really good for the last video, and I even got praise for including it the way that I did. There's a whole lot more though. A lot more stuff that shows Siffrin's thoughts throughout the game, which is exactly why I'm doing this. I'll try and explain how to get the ones that I got in my second and third playthrough, the third only existing because there are no easy and accurate guides for me to follow. But hey, intro out of the way now, let me list off every single achievement that I have already gotten. Welcome to the show, break a leg, and jackpot. All things that you kinda get from just doing the tutorial. So cute! Exclamation point, because I just wanted to call Odile cute. Intermission, also mandatory for beating the game. Did you see that? Kind of up to chance, but becomes more likely the further into the game you are. Best idea you've ever had? I forgot. Curtains, Encore, 1, Fetch Quest, Tutorial Quest. Really? Question mark? He doesn't need your help with a quest? Question mark? And in this moment, ... Those are all going to happen if you beat the game. Wait for it? I can't just not talk to Isabeau. Your favorite play? I fought the king a few times. Warning! Sharp! I talked to Loop a few times after realizing I could, so this came up eventually. More! Because 50 loops is pretty standard. Bad Touch. It's something about a shoulder. Nostalgia. Mandatory to beat the game. What's inside your hat, Bonnie? Because I just wanted to eat all of the snacks. Finally, there's Is This It? Epilogue, and Scene. That's the actual achievement name, by the way, including the and. So yeah, let's get back into the loops. I was messing around at first and got No Thanks, Stardust. You see, you can apparently give Loop souvenirs for them to look at, which I somehow completely missed in my first playthrough. Of course, I want to show them my favorite souvenir, the flower, which they really do not want. You can keep presenting it to them on different loops, which gets you a bit more dialogue, with Loop kinda just becoming more annoyed over time. Also, fun fact, you can give this flower to the king and the head housemaiden. That's fun. You also need to show Loop something specific to get the Two Hats ending. Yes, there is an alternate ending to this game, but that is not very important right now. I show them the silver coin, and they have some disdain for it, saying to pretty much get rid of it. This, actually has nothing to do with getting the ending, I just wanted to see the dialogue. Anyways, that's one achievement. My next one was not too bad, being Armory. You have to get every weapon, but do it within one loop. If you've already obtained them, just go back to their spots and interact with them anyways. You basically just have to interact with them all in one loop. It's not so bad with a guide, but they also miss some things. With that said, I shall be your guide. I'm sure that's why some of you are here anyways. First of all, you don't even start this on the first floor. This is because you need the key knife, the sharpened version. This requires one loop attempting to sharpen it and failing. Then, you need to go to the wood carving tools in the boulder room on the second floor to learn how to do it. You also need another item that requires multiple loops the first time around, being the griddle pan. You go into the beautiful person's house and then interact with the desk cabinet shelf thingy that is full of dishes. It won't give you the item the first time, for whatever reason I guess, and the guides don't really tell you that you need to interact with it twice, so loop back with the banana peel, and go back to it. A little dialogue later, you got the first weapon. Hey, so I'm recording this afterwards because I completely forgot about this somehow, but there is also the first issue book, which is a weapon for Odile. You have to go to the castle-loving one's house, which is in the bottom left, and then you need to go all the way up to the 3rd floor into the arts and crafts room, and on the bottom table there will be the book, which has the issue that he wants to know about, and then you go talk to him again and he gives you the book. So yeah, you have to do all that. And remember, this is Armory, so it all has to be in one loop. Go to the clock tower, then the 1st floor, grabbing the needle sword and the sharpening stone. The 1st floor has another thing, being the walk. I do not know how I missed both of Bonnie's weapons in my first run. I swear, I interacted with this, but anyways, yeah, go to the kitchen to get it. Next on the 2nd floor, this is where you find the garden scissors and the heavy book in the library. I think the garden scissors location is pretty self-explanatory. Finally, on the 3rd floor, you get the papier-mâché gloves. But hold up, you still need to sharpen the key knife. Do not forget that, and then you have gotten all the weapons. Yay! There's no special dialogue for this achievement, but a lot of them actually do have special dialogue. Next one I got was Here's Some Change, which you'll see doing the 2 hats ending. During Act 3 or 4 if you really wanna, just flip the silver coin a whole bunch. Yeah, just keep flipping it. A whole lot, keep doing it. You have to flip it until you recall the incident in its entirety. There is a dialogue about the incident that isn't the same thing as recalling the whole thing, so keep that in mind. The dialogue is about how Siffrin met this one guy, you know, another bakery person, and they recognize Siffrin's accent and everything. This was another person who was from the country that Siffrin's from, which is really interesting. And at that time, Siffrin was eating a croissant, which is why Siffrin hates croissants. Yay, trauma. For 2 hats, you also need to talk to Loop after seeing this, and then get another achievement. What you need is What Was That About?, where you show Loop the coin, just like how I mentioned before. Congratulations! You're now able to do the 2 hats ending, but again, that is for later. Alright, now we move on to Stupid Rotten Adults. I actually really like this one. This one does have some unique dialogue. This isn't like a super particular order, by the way, just the order that I got them in. So there's probably a faster order, but this works. Anyways, you just need to look at the book about burial rituals in the poem room, which is one of the rooms that is a dead end and requires looping back, and also the books in the dining room on the 1st floor. This doesn't have to all be in one loop or anything. Then you go to the snack break going from the 2nd floor up to the 3rd. A dialogue will come up in where Siffrin tries to talk to Bonnie about everyone's mentioning of death, and it does not go well. I got this part in my first playthrough, but that was right before Act 5, so I did not actually finish this. After you get that first part, you need to come back in a different loop, and then Siffrin can talk to Bonnie. You can't do this during a loop where you did Bonnie's side quest, by the way, since Bonnie would kind of already be happy then, and the talk would not really work out. Once you talk to Bonnie, Siffrin will make a promise to them. He will not let anything happen to them, and Bonnie promises the same. These touching moments are great, and there's so many that I missed out on. So many, which is exactly why I recommend playing this game after my last video. And I still recommend doing so. Even though I did all of the achievements, I am sure that there is dialogue that I have not seen. Next is Teachable Moment. Pretty simple. It's so easy that I didn't even focus on it. I just got it while working my way up to the All Memories achievement. On a loop where you've done everyone's friend quest, you just gotta interact with the chalkboard in the classroom on floor 2. Another kinda easy one is Reload's Dagger, House is Haunted. I mean, it's actually super unlikely to get, but also the name kind of hints at what you're supposed to do. This achievement involves seeing a ghost on every floor of the house within one loop. The thing is, reloading with the file menu does not change what loop you're on and resets whether or not you'll see the ghost. So basically, enter a floor, save, walk over to the location where the ghost spawns. If you see a ghost, save. The locations are as follows. Floor 1, the left hallway past the locked door. Just do the right side first, save, and then keep going through the door and reloading until you get it. And save once you do. Floor 2, the hallway on the immediate right. No setup needed here to save time since it's just right there. Just save as soon as you exit the snack break, so that way you can reload back to there. Finally, floor 3, where ghosts spawn right before where you get the key knife. There is no super fast way to do this, since it's all just all the way at the end. So, you just have to save where you feel is appropriate, but doing the bathroom dialogue and going back to save will let you not have to redo that dialogue. When you get all 3, a cutscene will play. It turns out, everyone can see the ghost of Siffrin. They've been seeing them the whole time and haven't mentioned it. And Isabeau decides to say hi. Everyone else agrees, with Siffrin not being able to understand why, because he is actually afraid of the ghost. They all go and talk to it, but very quickly, their expressions become concerned. You don't know what they see. Everyone is sweating. They look afraid. You can't see the ghost though, the other Siffrin. Then, they disappear. Siffrin wants to know. They have no idea what everyone saw, but they aren't looking at him or saying anything to him. Mirabelle cries before she can actually explain what she saw, and Odile asks if Siffrin would tell them if anything's wrong. That is a heavy question, one that some people might have heard themselves. Isabeau talks to Siffrin on the side, explaining. The other Siffrin acted like they didn't know everyone was there, but when they started speaking to him directly, he was startled. After his surprise subsided, he looked at them, smiling, nearly breaking out into tears. He looked at each of them, smiling harder after looking at them all. It wasn't nice though, it was just sad. Isabeau even says under his own breath, "Why would you look at us all like that?" This is different. I didn't get this dialogue before, of course, and it just shows a lot of concern. There were moments before, but everyone seeing behavior from Siffrin that is just so worrying is different. Just everyone is there to see it. Everyone cheers up though, they get over it, and try to be happy for Siffrin, trying to move on from what they just saw. Siffrin doesn't get it though. How can they put this past them? How could they possibly be fine with this? Do they not? They don't care. And Siffrin loops back. This was something else. It shows me another side of Siffrin's descent into madness, really. One that I honestly wish that I saw before making my last video. And what's neat about this game is that it remembers events like this. The ones that you have actually encountered within your save file, and it references them later on in the story. But anyways, there's more achievements to get. Now we reach a real interesting one, because I struggled with this for a while. The guide that I had just straight up was missing key information here for the achievement, but then who was phone? As the game says, you need to understand Mirabelle and the Change Religion better and bring her to the Change God statue where you get the key knife. Not just bring her to it, but bring her back after already getting the key knife. I'm sure that this is something that has to be done twice too, since it seems like something that you can't complete in just one loop. Not just that, but you have to do Mirabelle's friend quest first, or at least that's what I could gather from lots of trial and error. So checklist. You go back to the statue where the game suggests doing more. This only teaches you that Mirabelle made this statue, with it being the only intact one in the house. Complete Mirabelle's friend quest at some point, and in a single loop, go into the house and interact with as many different broken statues as you can until you get a special dialogue, basically informing you that you're ready. Going to Mirabelle's statue, you get to actually meet the Change God. You're telling me God is real? You meet them, with Mirabelle, for a moment in time. They stand there, all sort of weird, and they constantly change appearance. They are also extremely silly, using emoticons all the time, while also doing funny little misspellings. The Change God, though, did give you the knife and teleport you. They don't care that people are wrong about Mirabelle being blessed by the Change God, and they love the statue that Mirabelle made for them. Also, the Change God is kinda just lazy, and other choice words. But they mention that Mirabelle won't remember this encounter, although she should have some sort of feeling from it. She gets beamed away, and Siffrin is still there. The Change God takes a moment to talk to him, sort of mocking him. They say that Siffrin should take the time to speak with them too, since his god will never talk to him anyways. And somewhat morbidly, they decide to look like Loop the entire time that they speak to Siffrin. They say they've seen it all. In their eyes, Siffrin is just a pitiful traveler in their ridiculous play of their own delusions that goes against everything the Change God stands for. What Siffrin is doing is something criminal to the very concept of change. But if Siffrin could leave, he would though, right? That's what he thinks to himself. The Change God does say, however, they are enjoying themselves. They're having fun watching Siffrin. Nothing is changing except for him. And this is such a cruel thing to say to the person who is trapped here, who is suffering through this, that you are enjoying it. I just can't wait to see more! Sparkles. So, the sprites used in the scene are actually really interesting. I have never seen that one from Loop before. Spoilers, it's from the dagger talk if Siffrin decides to push the idea of looping with the dagger. Also, sending Siffrin off with the glitching sprite of the head housemaiden? Messed up. But hey, that's an achievement. 1000 Ways to Die. Super easy achievement, actually. You can, however, lock yourself out of this one though, so do be careful. When Loop brings up the dialogue about the dagger, you gotta keep pushing, and just keep saying that you want to use it. Eventually, you, break Loop. They're not too happy about that, and you can use the dagger. I'ma be real with you, at no point do I ever get a greater understanding of why this happened. So, you need to die via every way possible, including the falling rock, a sadness, tears, your dagger, the king, the banana, and finally, the pineapple snack. By the way, cutscene deaths do not count, but I am unsure which ones do count as cutscenes. Also, you can choose to give up the ability to loop with a dagger after you already used it once, which I did. The first rock death is definitely a cutscene, and to be safe I'd say just die to the king and tears more than once. And also, feel free to give up the ability to loop with the dagger after you've already used it once. Time! Exclamation point. Just loop 100 times. Moving on. The next one I did was, you've said this joke before. During Act 4, where Siffrin gets the ability to stay silent when talking to everyone, you have to do this with Isabeau 3 different times. Isabeau will tell an additional joke each time to try and cheer up Siffrin, up until he makes a joke about there being no future in travel, and Siffrin bursts into laughter. It's uncomfortably long, and Isabeau is worried because of how much it made them laugh. And yeah, you got the achievement. Hooray. Also another memory. Okay, Fashionable. This is pretty similar to Armory. The difference is that you don't need to do it all in one loop because, well, that's just impossible. Let's run through this real quick. First floor. The opaque glasses are on the left bedroom where the Timecraft book is. The right bedroom, with the key, has the pillow hat. On floor 2 there is only the drop earring in the infirmary, which is a dead-end room that you need to use the crest to get into. Next is the stylish bow, which is a whole quest line. Talk to the stylish one in Dormont, their house is in the bottom left, and then talk to Mirabelle. She says that she doesn't know them, so you gotta go up to the classroom on floor 2 to her old desk, and Mirabelle will remember. I don't quite remember this one while I'm writing the script. I think that you might need to talk to her again after Mirabelle says that she doesn't know her? Unsure. Once you do that, talk to the stylish one again after going to the classroom, and she will have a present for Mirabelle, being the stylish bow. Finally, the starry hat, something that's actually for Siffrin. You kinda just need to get far enough into the game. Once you get the Memory of Memories, you can enter the big door on floor 3 and get the hat. I think you need to actually do the observatory stuff in Act 4, but I don't entirely remember. And in case some of you don't remember how to actually interact with the observatory properly, you have to interact with the big old window, not any of the obvious objects in the room. I know that I had trouble with that. Somehow I never found this hat, by the way. I guess I was not very thorough, but I thought I interacted with everything here. But there you go, all of the accessories. So, Kinda Sus is definitely one that you have to work for. Remember you've said this joke before? Yeah, that's actually important. You need to gather weirdness points for this one, and also be in Act 4. Also, you need to be able to read certain books, so that means that you need the Memory of Memories first, again. What are weirdness points, by the way? Certain actions cause a little brief fading effect on the screen, accompanied by a sound cue, and they reset each loop. The little effect in the sound cue means that you got a weirdness point, and you need 15 of them to do this. The event where Siffrin laughs uncontrollably at Isabeau's joke adds 2 points instead of 1, and is a one-time event. There are a few that are one-time events, but also there's plenty of opportunities to get them. It's just easier if you plan it. If you choose to stay silent with everyone in Dormont, you get 4 points, 5 if you got Isabeau's event for the first time. Doing Odile's friend quest and talking to the child before the parent will get you 1 point. Also, if you tell Isabeau that you have something to do at the tree, and then you go to him at the top of Dormont and ask what's up with the tree, you will get a point for that. That is 6 to 7 points right off the bat before even entering the house. Next, skip the tutorial, talk about the circle key, and bring up the universe, and then activate the rock trap. The rock trap is mandatory, which is nice. Interacting with a tier on the first floor but not looping gets you a point, and then bumping into the counter and Siffrin having a not-so-cute reaction will get you another point. You also need to enter the locked storage room to read the book on witchcraft anyways, so interact with the dictionary to get another point. You also need to read the book on timecraft on this floor, which is in the left bedroom. So far, we have 12 to 13 weirdness points. That is a lot. During snack time on floor 2, eat the plantain chips, which, if you have looped enough with the banana peel, you will get a point for that. Using the star crest on this floor gets you a point no matter what you pick, but going up does not exactly help you, considering having to loop back will lose you all of your points. A big one is making Isabeau try to say the name of Siffrin's country in the library after reading the diary, which will award you 2 points. Then you can interact with a heavy book if you've already gotten it, which I mean, you should have if you got Armory, and then you get a point for that. You also need to go to the secret library, and saying, "Wow, a secret passage," will get you a point. Read the book on witchcraft in there, which should be the last book that you need for this, and since you completed Odile's friend quest, if you've been following what I'm saying so far, you can look at the list of checked out books while you're in there, which will give you 2 more points. Oh yeah, the book on witchcraft gives 2 points too, so yeah, we are good by now. That is 21 to 23 total points, depending on if you've used the banana peel enough, and if you do this all in the same loop as you've said this joke before. There's more opportunities for weirdness points, but some of them can't be done with the setup that I've used, which in my opinion is the easiest setup, or they are one-time uses. You have enough points now too anyways, but I'll just list out some others. During the third floor snack break, interacting with Odile will automatically get you a point, I think? The guide does not say that it gets you a point, but it has the effect. Opening the big star door where you get the starry hat will get you an easy point. You can also interact with the door blocked by the king's hair before using the key knife, and also when you go to get the key knife, the dialogue in the bathroom is interesting. Odile and Isabeau talk about how you're being weird, with Isabeau not wanting to admit that Siffrin is being weird. But Odile knows that he is playing dumb, and that his crush is just blinding him to the situation. Another one that I got while failing to do everything right is Siffrin calling her the researcher. The tall one. with glasses. He can't remember. He can't remember it. What's her name? It's Odile. Odile. Finally, this one is both required and gains you a point. Talk to Odile with at least 14 weirdness points during the final snack break. It doesn't feel like anything is off. It seems normal. Once you beat the king and talk to everyone, Odile's dialogue seems normal too. Did I do it wrong again? But really, is everything okay? What do you mean? I don't know, Siffrin. You felt off since yesterday. More withdrawn, mostly. Tell me what's wrong. Nothing's wrong. It's okay if you don't want to tell me, you know. I'll find out eventually. But I'm not hiding anything. Is that so? Is that so? So Timecraft has nothing to do with you? No, that's... And the fact that you knew how to read the book about witchcraft, knew how to wish correctly when no one else did, it doesn't mean anything either. It's not like that. And the way you're acting, doing that stupid smile like nothing's wrong, it doesn't mean anything either? I'm not stupid, Siffrin. If I find something strange, I can do nothing except give it my full attention. And you are acting strange. There were so many signs. I did not understand them, but now I do. You've been acting strange since you woke up from your nap yesterday. When we talked to you, you act out of it, almost bored. And the way you reacted to the rocks falling, we all jumped, but you just looked at them fall, calmly. There's so many other things. The way you reacted to so many things throughout our entire journey through the house. And how every time you found the keys we needed to proceed, you didn't even seem surprised. Like you knew exactly where they were. Even the key in the classroom. Almost like you had found them before, maybe? No. But that'd be impossible. How could I know where the keys were when this is my first time being here? I don't know, Siffrin. Why don't you enlighten me? Don't think I believe that whole I wish croissants would disappear thing too. So, if you lied about your wish, what did you wish for then? That's it, isn't it? Something happened? To you? To us? Did we die against the king, maybe? Is that why you're repeating the same events, Siffrin? And then, Siffrin snaps. Everyone hears him as he tells Odile to shut up. It doesn't matter, because it's too late now. He's at the end. Weirdly enough, too, he doesn't want help. Why? Why doesn't he want her to help? She'll hate him if he asks for her help. He can't. It's his fault. He doesn't know how, but it must be. The smell of burnt sugar grows stronger. Until... So yeah, there's that. The kind of sus achievement. Very funny name to contrast how that was. I also got the achievement Head Empty at the same time as this, which is to get all memories, but I will run over that very shortly. So not only did doing all the friend quests open up some easy weirdness point opportunities, but it helped me work towards an easy achievement as well. You are loved. You just need to reach the end after doing the friend quests 3 different times. When you reach the end this time, it's less bitter, more sweet, but still not right. Siffrin is smiling, his eyes filled with adoration for his family. Bittersweet. I guess that's fitting for the scent of burnt sugar. He watches as they all worry for him, care for him, and love him. Siffrin loves them, and in this moment, they love him. Just as always, they reach out, and... looping once again. This scene is so much smaller, but so impactful. I even referenced it in a little animation I did. I posted it as a YouTube short, so maybe you should check that out or something. Okay, Head Empty. One of the hardest ones to get. Less than 4% of people have this one. But it isn't something that requires extreme dedication. Just a little bit of determination. You need to get every single memory. First, there's the starting ones. Easy. Then there's the ones that you can't miss if you beat the game. Being memory of keys, memory of looping, memory of defeat, memory of victory, memory of family, memory of memories, memory of butt-kicking, memory of faith, memory of reflection, memory of stargazing, memory of secret quest, memory of snacks, and memory of training. Oh boy, that's a lot. But there's more! There's the ones that you get for doing other achievements that you have done so far, which I will list to be safe. Memory of Ghost, Memory of Touch, Memory of Key Knife, Memory of Change God, Memory of Learning, Memory of Confession, Memory of Puns, Memory of a Secret, Memory of Safe Rooms, and Memory of Promise. There are just a few that you have to specifically go out of your way to do. I didn't specify how to get so cute because that was one of my first achievements, which is for the Memory of First Strike. So, you need to go to the storage room on the 3rd floor, the one with the frozen girl on the right side. I kinda thought that was a bedroom at first, but then I realized there is no bed. It's the same room that has the dresser with the eye patch. Apparently, there's also a hidden passage here that I still have not seen after doing 100%. Like I said, a lot of stuff to do in this game. Just interact with the book in here, call Odile cute, it's that easy. Then you get a memory that boosts speed at the start of battles, which is super useful. Memory of Sadnesses is not hard to get, just I think around Act 3 or 4 you just need to enter the first floor and reach the tutorial. You'll have the option to immediately attack and absolutely kill it, thus getting the memory. It is becoming hard to say the word memory. Memory of Fishing. Just fish and loop a whole bunch. Memory of Barrels and Memory of Pillars. Just interact with a whole bunch of barrels and pillars when you enter the house without looping. It says in the guide I used to interact with all of them, which I took very literally, but no, you actually just get the memories within the first floor if you're being thorough enough. Memory of Bomb. Just make the bomb. You need to get the fuse in Normant, the thingy from Mirabelle's room, and the secret ingredient from her roommate before the final snack break. Memory of Tonics. Collect stuff from the tonic storage on floor 1 twice before Act 3, otherwise you will be locked out. And then the rest of them are just craft skills, which you unlock by leveling. And trust me, you will do a whole lot of that anyways. OP. Get everyone to max level. It's actually easy to do this for everyone but Siffrin, because Memory of Family doubles their EXP, and they have a much lower level cap. I just hung around the first floor, walking in and out of the main room to respawn enemies. Why I did this on the first floor, you may ask? So that I can have max level on every floor after this with the party, to make things a little bit easier. And besides, once you get further into the game, after beating the king for the first time, the enemies are sort of randomized for each floor, so it doesn't matter. I actually maxed everyone else out way before Siffrin, doing this before a lot of the other achievements even. Memory of First Strike and butt kicking help a lot, especially because they make Siffrin stronger, and he's probably going to be your highest level by the time you start doing this. Once everyone but Siffrin is maxed out, I personally leveled him by just fighting the king a whole bunch. It was extremely grindy, but probably the fastest way to do this. And having everyone at max level against the king was so easy, Siffrin said so himself. Apparently you can do enough damage that he goes into his next phase and skips his first attack, so you don't even need to put up a shield. Although I would not recommend doing that because if you do not beat him up fast enough, you will die. Eventually I got the achievement, but be warned, the game is kinda bad at detecting this one. Maybe make a backup save just in case, but for me, I just needed to keep playing for a while. It took like around 20 minutes probably for the game to register that I got it. Now we have the one that you have all been waiting for, the one that you get for doing the 2 hats ending. Like talking to yourself. You beat the game. You got the loops to end. It's over. You did it with your friends. But you do need to go thank someone. Someone in Dormont who helped the party. Loop. But going to the favor tree, they're gone. The sun shines and the tree leaves rustle in the wind, but there's no one there. There's nothing. The loops are over, so that must mean Loop is gone. Wait, something shines where Loop used to sit. It's a silver coin. This coin, it's very plain, very common currency here in Vagard. But this is your silver coin. You know it. Loop, answer me. Or should I call you by your previous name instead? And with that, they show up. They don't look like it, but you're certain. This is you. Taking out your own coin, flipping it around and throwing it towards Loop, they catch it, rolling it effortlessly across their fingers. Oh, Stardust. So you've won, haven't you? You broke the loops, defeated the king, talked to your party, realized that all along, the reason you were stuck here was because of a stupid, blinding wish you made. Oh, I'm so happy for you. You got your perfect ending after all. And now, I have nothing left to say to you. So you should go. Why are you still here? What do you want me to say? What else is there to say? You've won. Oh, Stardust. You know, I was just like you once. A stupid, aimless traveler, trying to find any reason to keep going. And then I met everyone, and felt that finally, I had people I could count on, people I could love. And then, I got scared, and made the exact mistake that you did. Make a stupid, blinding wish, hoping I could stay with them. Went through the house, tried to fight the king, tried to win. Did that for so long, I couldn't even give you a number. And then, I couldn't do it anymore. You see, not unlike you a few hours ago, I did a very special kind of giving up. But unlike you, who gave up your wish and almost destroyed the world in the process, I gave up on my wish and destroyed myself, and made another wish instead. I wished it could be over, and that is how Loop came to be. Just like at the start of the game, where during Siffrin's nap, he sees a dream of himself eating a star. There's a depiction of Loop's own wish. It's kind of similar. Loop didn't just get out, though. Instead, they became part of your loops. Another Siffrin, a copy of themselves. There were signs. So many. Loop wanted both of you to call themselves we when you first met. They didn't know what they looked like. Their personality was made just to annoy you. They knew everything about you, and asking if they were you just made them laugh hysterically. But now, having to watch another Siffrin succeed where they failed, it's too much. It's time to fight. A minuscule fight. Like a cute, old, bonded couple. Nothing to say? Stars! Killing you will make me so happy. And just like that, the battle starts. I was max level. I had skills that could keep me going on forever in this fight. I readied up, and so did Loop. Their skills are the same as yours, as they breathe in and out. I attack, eventually getting them down, but they loop back. I keep attacking, bringing them down again, but yeah, they're so proud. You did so good. You won, but they didn't. I keep trying, and they come back even angrier. They didn't want to see the party again. They wanted to forget them, and when they went to help, everyone looked at them like they're a stranger. To not be recognized by your loved ones, they hated it so much. They were Loop's family, and you stole them. At this point, I didn't want to fight them anymore. I knew this wasn't going to help. With that, they take Siffrin down to 0 health and start strangling you. Siffrin reaches out to loop back, but that's gone now. Loop looks down at them. They'll kill him, rip him open, take out their heart. I'm sorry, Stardust. I'm sorry. But I want my perfect ending too. Why should you be the only one to get it? I suffered too. I endured too. I deserve it just as much. No, even more than you do. You can't escape. You close your eyes shut, thinking of a way to get out of this, and Loop isn't moving. No, I can't. I can't do this. Not when I had to see you fight so hard. Loop can't bring themselves to hurt Siffrin, despite how much they want, how much they need and desire this. They don't get it. Why did you succeed? It's because they helped Siffrin succeed. Siffrin couldn't have gotten through it without Loop. This moment is so sweet, despite how the two got here. Siffrin appreciates Loop so much, and Loop still cares about Siffrin. The current them, the one that they've been watching over. Loop starts to fade away. Neither of them know what will happen. Somehow, though, they're sure that they'll meet again, and be able to receive everyone's thanks themselves. They promise, and Siffrin promises not to forget them. With that, you go back to everyone and get the achievement. And once everything wraps up, you get to the credits. And 2 hats. So yeah, after all that work, finally, I got... Wait, there's one more achievement? It's the one that the fewest amount of people have gotten. Behind the scenes. Yeah, that's right. I said at the start of this that I need to do a 3rd playthrough of this game, and that's because of this. Why? Well, by the time I looked at what I had to do for this, I missed the opportunity to do it in that save file. As early as part way into Act 2, there is something that you can miss. You need to get every loop chat to complete this one. I mean, technically not all of them, just all of them that are possible. It depends on if you keep the ability to loop with the dagger or not. Anyways, it's time to explain to you all how to do this. So, I made a spreadsheet after looking through a guide because it is very strangely formatted. It has some that can be done during Act 2 written down after Act 4 on the list, which is just kind of annoying. So yeah, my own spreadsheet that just lists everything at the earliest point that it can be done. I recommend using a spreadsheet with checklists, by the way, because even with it, I somehow forgot that I had already gotten some, but forgetting to get them in the first place would be a much worse situation. First there's Act 2 chats, starting with the chats early on in the game that happen in the garden. You need to get to the 2nd floor during Act 2, and bump into everyone in the garden twice. You hear me? 2 different loops. Then you go talk to Loop and chat. Then do that again with a total of 4 times, bumping in the garden, and then talk to Loop. By the way, it is easier to get all of the chats if you don't do 2 hats, because it can mess up some of the stuff, just FYI. This next one is a random chance. Yay! I'd say to just keep looping with the banana peel until you get this one. It is a 1 in 23 chance, and the game will say that there is nothing to talk about if you don't get that chance. So basically, the game is gaslighting you, and you need to keep pushing. This one is where Loop says that they want to be the one to talk, by the way. Are you getting on my nerves on purpose, and can you read my thoughts? Both don't have prerequisites, you just have to do them during Act 2, and loop back to get them both. On your first time losing to the king, that brings up, the king really likes stars. What do you think of my friends, or possibly family, depending on how far into the game you are, is after 5 loops, plain and easy. What do you do when I'm not here has no requirements, along with aren't you bored, since I remember isn't there a chance, and so are you a star. This next one works better if you do spend a lot of your loops trying to get the 1 in 23 odds chat, because it requires talking to Loop 20 different times, being, did you know that your eyes have different shades? Along with that, after 20 loops or so, you get, you don't know what to say, so you stay quiet. That's all that can be done in Act 2, on to the 3rd. So, what's the difference between looping with a tear and looping because of my dagger is interesting. For one, you don't need to take the ability to loop with your dagger to get this, but more importantly, it just didn't show up for a long time. I wrote down in my notes that there must be some kind of hidden requirement, but I never figured out what. Also, you need to actually have the talk about the dagger first, which you need 20 loops using tears for. Why don't you tell your little team about the loops that you're stuck in, is a mouthful, but also has no conditions. Are You Jealous of My Friends has no conditions either, but keep in mind, both of those can only be done in Act 3, not earlier, not later. You know, don't you, what your fighter is trying so hard to say to you is one that I struggled with because this guide has no clue how it worked. I figured it out though. I tried to figure it out a whole lot and I succeeded. You need to get far enough into the shoulder thing dialogues with Isabeau, the ones where you make him laugh and he reaches out. You don't need to go all the way for bad touch, but you may or may not need the requirements for that in order to unlock the chat. It was like 2 loops away from being able to do bad touch that I had it. Why Stardust has no requirements, and neither does So. I'm sure you have questions about me at this point. And if you did not take the dagger looping ability, the second to last chat is, So, how's your touch therapy going? You need to do the thing at the garden at least 12 times in total, or more than 12, as the guide would say, but I don't remember if I actually only did 12. And while 12 seems like a repetitive number, the chats that you actually see while doing this are very much worth looking at. This also, again, must be done in Act 3. Finally, Act 4, with only one chat being, Say Stardust. There's no requirements, and once you've done that, you just have to loop one more time and talk with Loop again. This time, you will get the last chat along with the achievement, and the conversation basically goes along the lines of, there's nothing more to chat about. And look, I know that I've come this far. This script is super long, super duper long, but I'm not going to read these chats. Why won't I? Because, even if I did kinda spoil the mystery already, seeing these for yourself is one of the best parts of the game. Also, my voice is killing me. Now that I am one of the top 2% of achievement holders, probably closer to 1% because I have all of the achievements, I am chillin'. This is a good game to 100%. But with that said, I never want to 100% a game again. I am not built for this. Can't say that I'm content either, because I yearn for more of this game, possibly to concerning degrees. Who knows? Maybe I'll see what I can do about that. But anyways, with that all said and done, thank you to everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!